Hello everybody and welcome back. Today I will be counting down the top 5 best original Xbox games. This list will only include games exclusive to the original Xbox. So no, you will not see the Star Wars Battlefront 2s, the SSX Trickies, or any of the other cross-platform games, although they are all great. Also, keep in mind, these are my favorites, so you may not see what you like on the list, and that's okay. It's just my opinion. I want you to tell me in the comments what your favorite Xbox games are. Alright, no more stalling. Let's get the show on the road. Jade Empire is an action role-playing game developed by BioWare, in which you take control of the Spirit Monk. You can choose between 3 female or 3 male characters. You have different stats like health, magic, chi, and focus. You go around completing quests and the main storyline. Although most of the game is played in third person, the game does have some shoot-'em-up minigames, which is really unique and helps break up the RPG grind. Combat is in real time with a follower who helps you fight. As you progress in the game, you gain more attacks, both physical and magical, as well as new followers, all with different abilities. One thing I like about the combat in this game is that the focus feature allows you to slow down time to gain advantage on the enemies. There are so many great characters and lore to be discovered in this game. If you are a fan of RPGs and a great story, I highly recommend you pick up Jade Empire. Fable is another great Xbox exclusive RPG. This is the first in the Fable series. You start as a young boy who eventually turns into a hero. The setting is high fantasy with magic and medieval weapons and armor. Like any RPG, you complete quests and try to finish the main storyline, as well as make decisions to help shape your character. However, Fable takes decision-making to the next level. Not only will your decisions align your character to either good or evil, but eating too much can make your character gain weight. Certain clothing can also make you more attractive or scary to NPCs. Bright clothing makes your character look more noble, while dark clothing causes the character to seem more evil or threatening. Your skills also affect how you look. High levels of strength increase how muscular you are and increase your height, and high-level spells create glowing arcane patterns around your body. So, which will you choose? Good or evil? Fable is a classic RPG that I believe everyone should play at least once. Pick it up now. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic is considered by some to be the best game on the original Xbox, and even the best Star Wars video game. I wouldn't necessarily disagree with them, even though I have this as my number 3. Yes, it is another RPG, but aren't RPGs just so much fun? Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic drops you into the Star Wars universe 4,000 years before the rise of the Galactic Empire. You play as a male or female who has completely lost their memory. As you progress, you can choose to align with the light or the dark side of the Force by making certain combat or conversarial decisions. The combat is based on old tabletop RPG rules, rolling a different dice to determine if your attacks hit or miss and how strong they are. Your player is very customizable. Also, what's better than being able to use a lightsaber? I don't want to spoil anything, but the story is amazing. It really goes in deep with the Star Wars lore and lets you explore all the corners of the universe. Regardless of what kind of games you're into, I highly recommend you play this game. Yes, the graphics are seriously outdated, but the story, lore, and mechanics really hold this game up. If you are a Star Wars fan, you will have a blast playing this awesome title. Panzer Dragoon Orta is my favorite original Xbox game. But why is it number 2? Although it is my favorite original Xbox game, it is not the best original Xbox game. Panzer Dragoon Orta is an on-rail shooter, part of the Panzer Dragoon series that began on the Sega Saturn. Like all of the Panzer Dragoon games, you ride on a dragon and lock on lasers at enemies and incoming projectiles. As you scan around in 360 degrees, you get to swap between 3 different dragon forms. One normal form, one form with increased laser strength, and one with quick movement and a continuous homing blast. And another awesome perk is that beating the game on any level unlocks the ability to play through the entire first Panzer Dragoon game that came out on the Sega Saturn. It's a 2-for-1 game. Halo 2. I'm sure you aren't surprised. It is the best-selling game on the original Xbox, and rightly so. If you have ever played any of the Halo games, you know how great a first-person shooter these games are. The first Halo was great, no doubt, and revolutionized the first-person shooter experience. But Halo 2 expanded on an already great game and made it much greater. It introduced new weapons like the Energy Sword and new levels, many of which made a return on Halo 3. Some of these levels I would consider to be some of the best ever Halo levels created. Even though the story is great on single player, where the game really shines is in multiplayer. Playing multiplayer on Halo 2 is probably the best split-screen shooter experience you can have on any console. Being able to get a bunch of friends together to blast each other to bits is one of the greatest joys you can have while playing an original Xbox. And that is why Halo 2 is my #1 pick. Well, that's the list. What did you think? Which games did I miss? And which games are in your top 5? Let me know in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.